Hey gang, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Let's take just a second here and try to get our Facebook friends up and running. So I've been painting much of the day today, essentially all day. Well, I don't mean that. I mean all afternoon. Since the last time I broadcast, I've been so I've gotten a lot done, but there's still a fair amount to do in this final edit layer. That's why I'm calling it the slow final edit layer. Let's see if I can get my Facebook monitor up and running. Yes, there we go. Good. So I have all my monitors up and going. I'm not even going to try to tell you what I've done since my last broadcast. Let's just let it unfold as the subject comes up naturally. Obviously, haven't done much at all to this car, so it's the first in the final edit layer. The first time I really worked on the car. Just started a few minutes ago. All right, let's get official, get legal. This is Daily Art Adventure number 890. I'm calling slow final edit, just because it feels slow, that's all. Let me continue to work on this car just a little bit. Whoops, sorry, I just kicked you guys all over the place, sorry. All right, so I'll zoom in here. Hello, thinker. I asked, am I happy with the results of the tape masking? Yes, but I've still covered up too much of it. I've covered up too much of the abstract painting. After all that, let me show you some of the bits that are still showing I'm happy with. So like this bit of yellow orange, that up there is abstract showing through. The biggest is this area right here, which is almost completely abstract. Then there's some stripes here going into this building that I'm happy with. Where else? It's showing up here and there and here and there, but you can't really identify it anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, thanks for asking. I am definitely going to try it again. I am excited enough about it that I'm definitely going to try it again. So let me tell you where we're going from here. First, let me say hello to John Myers and to Meg Smither and Doug Titus and Elsie Graham. Elsie, I don't usually have to, when I see your name, I don't usually have to try to pronounce it out loud. Forgive me. All of a sudden I go, oh wait. Buellney? Forgive me, I'm probably butchering it. Anyway, Elsie, good to have you here. And Kelly Daniel, how fun. Niece Kelly. David Mercer. Nice cars. Thank you, David. Hilda Stevens and Ursula. Thank you, Ursula. You're sweet. All right, so let me tell you a little bit where I'm going from here. The final edit layer is always the slowest layer. And on a painting this size with this much detail, that's significant. So I miss the days when I when I used to start and finish a whole painting in one sitting or one day, which I've certainly done a lot of that. And every once in a while I still do. It wasn't that long ago. Last fall, I think it was, not that long ago, I did a festival at a middle school, and I have to remind myself of this. Wow, how did I do that? I did a 36, might have been this size, 36 by 60 inch painting in 3 hours, start to finish. And I actually put it in my website because I'm actually quite happy with it. So that's freaky, isn't it? How can I do an entire painting this size in 3 hours, and then here I am spending 3 times that much, 4 times that much time on this painting? Anyway, doesn't matter. It's one of those things I can't get all uptight about. That would be a waste of time and energy. The point is to do as good a job as I can on the painting at hand, right? The painting I'm working on. I don't usually paint the drivers inside the cars, but there, I did that one. How about that? So where I'm going from here, that's what I was going to tell you about. I would love to get to a point on this painting tonight. Well, I want to get as far as I can so that the next time that I work on it, which will probably, it looks like, be Monday, I probably won't be working on it on Easter Sunday. It's conceivable, but it's not likely. We could talk about that, couldn't we? The concept of a Sabbath, irrespective of any religious overtones or connotations. I have certainly discovered that the principle of taking one day a week to get off the hamster wheel of life is very, very healthy. And it's a principle that I observe pretty carefully. But that means to some degree I have freedom on a Sunday. Typically, if I don't get a Sabbath rest on a Sunday, then I'll take it on another day. Again, it's not so much a religious exercise for me as it is a practical mental health habit. Well, it's not religious at all, but anyway, never mind. Opening a can of worms. That is to say, I don't do it religiously. Anyway, but that doesn't mean that I can't paint sometimes on a Sunday, on the day of rest. If my day of rest is on Sunday, here's my rule. I can paint as long as I'm enjoying it and it's restful and I'm having a good time. And as soon as ceases being all those things, then I've tipped over into work, and then it's absolutely, then it's quite important that I quit. Anyway, that's another subject. I'll leave it right there. I keep starting to tell you where I'm going from here, and then I keep interrupting. All right, I want to get as far as I can tonight. Then Monday when I come back, I will glaze the whole thing with any colors that I wish, any colors that I want. And for instance, well, I won't even begin telling you or guessing. At the moment, there's an awful lot of opaque paint on the canvas, and way more opaque than I'm happy with. So one of the antidotes to that opaqueness is to do glazes on top of what's here. And again, any colors that I want, any colors I feel like. The sky's the limit. So I'm going to get as far as I can tonight, but there's two things I'd like to, besides finish drawing, for instance. Whoops, some of the things that we just lost our Facebook people. Let's see if we can get them back. Hello, Denise. Ladybug, that's great, thank you. Yes, I think I'll use tape. Oh, do I? No, I won't leave it on longer, because I can't leave it on once I get into oils, because tape doesn't work. I might go with Saran wrap in the oil stage. Good question, thank you. David mentions that this building. Anyway, there are possibly some perspective issues with this building. Oh, we don't have any sound. Okay, hang on. Test. Sorry, we lost Facebook sound. Let's see if we can get them back. Did we lose sound by any chance on YouTube as well? No, I think YouTube has sound. Hang on, Facebook. Let's see if we can get you. See if we can get you back. All right, are we there? Are we there? There we go. All right, we have the sound back on Facebook. Sorry about that. Wow. A couple nights ago, it turned into a nightmare. There was got all kinds of technical ghosts and got into my equipment. So it seems like we're okay now. I am going to double check all the perspective lines when I come back. I'm not sure about this line right here. I will actually pick up a yardstick and check things. I haven't done anything in that upper right corner. I don't want to do much, but I do want to do just a little bit. There's a real fine line between allowing a painting. Now it seems like we're getting bad sound, aren't we? Okay. The fine line between allowing a painting to, quote, go abstract at the edges, which is pretty traditional. Again, I feel like we have a bad sound. And if so, I don't think there's anything I could do about it unless I start the broadcast all over. So, a fine line between fading out and just not finishing. So there, I think that's all I need to do up there. Now, I need to do a little bit on this side of this building right here. Oh yeah, this whole side of this building needs a little bit of attention. Not too much. I want this side of this building to remain quite abstract, the way it is right now, with lots of crazy colors and so forth. When I do glaze, say on Monday, if it's Monday, when I do glazes over this plane, this side of this building, it will even out those tones a little bit. The glazing process will be quite important for that panel, but I need to do a little bit more. Hang on. What are you going to do besides hang on, eh? I don't need to tell you to hang on, really, do I? I'm talking to myself. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Can you see? I'm way down there in the corner. I did some spontaneous, crazy abstract marks, and I like them, but there's too much of them. So now I'm just cleaning it up with a finger in rag. I've done, on this whole painting, I've done a lot of this. Just kind of interesting how at different moments you do, different days you do more or less of this or that or the other. And today's been a day when I've done, and I like it. I like the effect quite a bit. I have a funny drawing mistake here. I'll show you in just a second. Kind of embarrassing. This lamp post here. Well, I guess you can't tell. Well, wait a minute. Oh, never mind. I don't. I've been thinking that this tree was across the street, but it's not. It's on this side of the street. Never mind. So my mistake was not a mistake. Pardon me. I'm standing right in your way. Because I had this lamp post, a traffic light post, which is on this side of the street. I had the tree, some of the branches in front of it, but I just looked at my photograph and realized, oh, wait a minute. It is in front of it. Okay, never mind. I made a lot of other mistakes, but that wasn't one of them. Lest you think I lead a charmed existence, don't make silly mistakes. Oh, contraire, as they say. Somebody says that when they're trying to sound intelligent. Au contraire. So. I would like it to look as though there are stairs. Yeah, I think I'll let it go at that. That's stairsy enough. There were actually two railings here, one here and one that's right in front of the car. But I don't think the one in the car. It would just be a confusion. So I'm just going to leave it out. It's okay, just have one railing, I think. By the way, this is quite by accident. In other words, this is actually the way it is in the photograph, that I've got the viewer, you and me, the viewer, the camera, is standing right on a path. This is a good trick to anytime you do a landscape. You should have, not should, but it's often a good idea to either have a gate or a path, a Z shape. Now, this is not Z shape, but we have right here a gate, so to speak, which is a good psychological entree into the painting. Gives us an on-ramp, so to speak. Gives the viewer an on-ramp. All right, I haven't even touched any of my people yet. What I mean by that is in the final edit stage, I haven't touched them. So I'm going to do a little bit of flesh tones first of all. In case you wonder, am I racially inclusive, diverse in my flesh tone color? The answer is heck yeah. More than that, I try to leave, pretty much I try to make all my people racially vague enough that you really can't say. But I do have a slight range of tone, flesh tone. Okay, so there's some brown. Now, I often like to put, yeah, sure, one woman, for some reason, this is sort of a funny little tradition. It's not very serious, and it's certainly not a die-hard rule, but I like to have one woman in a red dress. Let's see what you guys are saying here. David, you're thinking the trees should come back up down there? Yeah, you might be right. They don't in a photograph, but that doesn't mean that my painting shouldn't do it. So I think I've captured that fairly well, the sense that there's a dip in the road there. All right, am I in your way? Yeah, kind of. Okay, here's well, that's too light. Hang on just a second. Too light, too bright. I want it darker than that. So I often will put a woman in a red dress. There's nothing, what's the word? It's just one of those funny little traditions. Two women in red dresses. Now that would be too much. Again, I'm not saying anything by it. It's just, I just see that little bit of red down there is kind of nice. All these other people, then, they get stuck with whatever colors are left over. Let's start with a blue. There's always lots of blue in America. Lots of blue jeans and blue everything. Do you know what color, honestly, I paint crowds of people quite a bit. Do you know what colors people actually wear the most in America these days? Black. Which always seems a little funny to me. On a hot summer day, I do not want to wear black. I wear black in the winter, but it's never a black t-shirt. Like over the years, this has nothing to do with anything, of course, I'm just jabbering, but I've been given black t-shirts over the years, and so I was like, oh, that's too bad. Not like, I don't wear t-shirts on the outside in the winter, and in the summer, if I'm wearing a t-shirt, it's going to be light colored, not black, because it's hot outside. Anyway, but evidently, I'm in the minority because a lot of people, in fact, do wear black. I notice this because, of course, when I'm having to paint crowds of people at a festival, and I'll lift up my eyes and pan the crowd, so to speak, just to see what people are wearing. And I'm often black and white are the two most common colors, and I paint very few people in black and white in my paintings because I want to use the people as an excuse for introducing some color to the painting. So too bad. It's not going to be realistic in that regard. By the same token, do you know what color cars are? Like a whole street full of cars. Those are mostly blue because it's reflecting off the it's the windows reflecting the windshields. The front windows, back windows, reflecting off the sky. But generally speaking, if you're doing a parking lot, I learned this years ago the hard way. If you're doing a parking lot full of cars, all the cars in the parking lot essentially should be various shades of gray. Light gray, like a white car with shadows on it, all the way to dark gray. And then 1 out of 10 cars can be red. That's about it. All the cars are gray. This is cars from a distance. Again, like this here. I don't have any red cars in here. I could do one, but at the moment I don't have any, and I don't think I want any red cars. I don't know. Hang on. Okay, I talked myself into it. Sure, 1 red car right here. There. So all the cars are black and white, or gray, I mean, various shades of gray. And 1 out of 10 is red. So there, I've done the ratio right now. All right. Oh, no, not all right. Let's finish the people, and I'm going to, again, sit down to do this. Let's see, you guys are in a talkative mood. Yes, of course I've taken requests for a city scene. Hannah, send me a message. I'd be glad to do one for you. Hello, Denise. Good to hear from you. Happy Easter indeed to all of you. Thank you. We're going to have a wonderful getting together with our next door neighbors, having Easter with our next door neighbors. Isn't that great? Okay, some fascinating West Australia. Brenda, is that where you are? Oh my goodness. Good morning. It's Sunday morning. Good Easter Sunday morning to you. Are you talking about this reflection? You know what? That was actually on purpose. You're making me rethink whether it should be, but yeah, no, that was actually, so it's, I see it's feeling like a mistake to you, so I'm going to compromise a little bit and do 1 just much less. There we go. All right. No, not all right. I keep thinking I'm all done with this layer, but I do have to do some painting of these people, of the figures here in the foreground. And what that means is mostly I need to paint around them. So I'm going to, let's zoom. Oops. That was just a T-square falling off my palette, falling off my easel. Not a real emergency. Please relax. Okay, there's a bunch of people over here, and as is often the case for me, they're too big. That's partly because I know that I'm going to come back and skinny them up, small them up by doing exactly what I'm doing right here, which is negative painting around them. He's still too big. That looks like a he to me. I'm not sure it is, of course, but he's still too big. So let me mess him up a little bit, and then come back and clean him up a little bit later. Let's come over this person. So my negative painting of these figures is actually a lot more precise or careful than the positive painting. And what I'm doing right now, the negative painting around them, I'm being quite a bit more careful, precise, careful, definitive, if you will, than I was when I was painting them, positive painting them, if you will. Does that make sense? Here's one of my expressions. I have some drawing issues with these traffic light. Maybe I'll just take this one out completely. It does, I don't know. There's a traffic thing here, but it's getting confused with the this balcony up here. I might just take it out completely. Nobody would know any better. All right, back to, so I'm real quickly, I'm trying to mix up colors more or less that match the color that's behind these figures. It might not look like it now, but I spend quite a bit of time painting people, pedestrians, in crowds. I shouldn't say that because that means I should be doing a really good job, and I don't feel like I'm doing a particular bang-up job at the moment. But bear with me; they'll get there. They'll get there eventually. Well, that's one of the guidelines, if you will, for me for how to paint people. Same as anything else. Anytime you're painting a fairly complex object, paint it in stages. Don't paint it all at once. All right, now let's tackle this. Not literally. Let's tackle this woman in the red dress. And once again, as is often the case for me, that her head's too big. I don't worry about it too much because as I know and now she's kind of bald, so I'm not sure if this is a woman or not. She's quite bald. Maybe we should give her some hair. That looks funny. Again, I'd rather put down a big blob and then carve it. There we go. Now see, she's actually rather stylish. No, I shouldn't say that because I'm the last. I'm the world's worst. I don't pay any attention to style. I mentioned a minute ago when I look at a crowd of people at a festival or at an event to see what they're wearing, but that's because I have to, because I have no idea what is in or what styles are in or out. I'm one of those kind of old men. If I want to dress up really well, I put on a tux. I know I'm safe. There. Rather plain dress, I'd say, just kind of a shift. Is that what, I don't know if I shouldn't even say, I shouldn't try names of clothing. It'd get me even more trouble. And then we've got this figure on a bike right here. I don't know if you can see him or not, but he's barely there. Uh-oh, we have an unhappy child. They're starting their bedtime, go to bed routine, which means there'll be a bunch of crying over the next 45 minutes. All right. Whew. All right, I'm now, here's what I've been trying to get to. I'm now leaving that made very, thank you, David. And as I said, I'm going to double check all the perspective when all the paint is dry. It'll be easier for me to make corrections on Monday when everything's dry, not tacky the way it is right now, or even sloppy wet the way it is right now. Changing gears, yahoo! Now I'm going to do broken color. I've already done some broken color. I'm going to do some more. Now, okay, broken color means I want to retain on any part of the painting the value, the lightness, darkness that's already there, but I want to introduce some contrasty colors inside that zone, that value. Now, in addition to broken color, I also want to introduce pushed color, exaggerated color. So what I used to call the broken color phase, I now call the broken color and pushed color. Push means to exaggerate some color. And I think I'm in the mood to start all the way over here. And then this tree up here. The trees are one of the easiest places. Okay, why am I getting a snap crackle pop over here? Trees are one of the easiest places to introduce broken color. Trees with, I'm talking about foliage, because the foliage is green, right? Right? Traditionally. And some of the most fun, and I'm going to move you guys a little bit because I'm going to stand right in your way, I'm afraid. You're getting a lot of glare. Let's see if I can raise you guys up any higher, because I'm just trying to eliminate as much of the glare as possible. Is that any better? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. So I'm mixing up over here, where you can't see me very well. I'm mixing up over here a dark red, dark burgundy brown, because yeah, there we go. Nice. This right here, even if you don't do broken color per se, as a part of your painting strategy, if you are a landscape painter, this one trick could take you to the next level in your painting, and that is simply do some maroon or burgundy, dark red in your trees. It doesn't matter where. It's not a realism thing, but I don't know. It helps break up the green. Anyway, people will think you're a lot better painter than you really are if you introduce. Now it has to be the same value as the green. Does that make sense? I'm gonna actually lighten this red up a little bit so that I can do some of this red in the lighter green areas, because I want whatever color I'm putting in, I want it to be the same value as what is already there. And do some red in these trees here as well. This broken color as a distinct and dedicated stage or phase in my painting process is only about a year old, maybe 15 months for me, fairly new. One of my more recent evolutionary developments. And I'm still always a little bit worried that I'm overdoing it. I bring my paintings to my friends and say, have I overdone the broken color? And so far the answer has always been no. So I do think it really introduces an aspect to the painting that is quite fetching, I'll say that. I particularly like doing the broken color phase. The top of this building needs work. I'm not going to work on it right now. I'll do it later. I think I'm just going to add some yellow to this mix. So now that I have a dirty orange on my brushes. I like doing the broken color before I do my final glaze, if I can work it out. Now, right now, this is not broken color. Right now, I'm just doing a little bit of drawing, a little bit of brown in those buildings that never got done. All right, so now I have a dirty orange, about a mid-tone, about a number 5 value. So that means I'd be looking in my painting for anywhere where there's a number 5 value that's not orange, that tree, but that doesn't, that barely qualifies as broken color because the orange is too close to the green. And right now again, this is not broken color either. This is just drawing or pushing the color, even as the terminology I used a minute ago. Here we go. Oh, I like doing the broken color before the final glaze, because a glaze on top of this, the broken color, first of all, is always opaque. It's always a light color. It's always opaque. So doing something transparent on top of it is always pleasant. But whoops. Okay, so what's wrong with that mark right there? It might be, okay, I'll zoom it in so you can see what I'm talking about. Sorry, you guys are getting a rather distant view of this painting. Yeah, let me fix you here in a second. All right, this mark right there, what's wrong with it? It might be beautiful, but it's lighter than the blue. So that is not broken color. Now, again, I'm not too worried about it, so I just smooshed it out. David, I did see your comment about that lamppost. And you're exactly right. I haven't finished those lampposts. I'm a little bit anxious to get to my broken color phase, so that's why I'm sort of shortcutting my my final edit. There's still a few things like that have to be done. Thanks for pointing that out. Oh, I also need some white up there. Whoops. Let me broaden you guys back out so you can see the whole thing. Yes, light blue, I'm using bristle brushes. Traditional. No, they're not dark. They're natural, light-colored, synthetic, traditional bristles. All right, now that right there is classic broken color. I matched the value essentially perfectly. Okay, I don't seem to be having a lot of luck with the this orange color, so I'm just going to change colors. It's just not firing for me, so. I'm thinking now. Yeah, that's broken color. Still with the orange color on top of the blue. So generally speaking, the broken color, you're kind of looking for complementary. In other words, I have orange on my brushes, so I'm looking for blue bits. Oh, and I could just do some on this car right here. There we go. That's nice little bit of, and of course the car has reflections all over it, so it could actually be realistic. Generally speaking, the broken color is, my concern is not realism. right? Okay, I'm going to go right straight to a red. See if I can sneak in here. Now, of course, you know, red is going to draw a lot of attention to itself. So, I'm very hot, if I can use that. I have a hot red on my brushes. I don't want it to look like a apple tree. I do want to give this woman, the red dress woman, though, more. She has barely red, a barely red dress. Now it's red. Oh, I also, this whole pole has traffic lights on it. I haven't even touched those yet. Ooh. Now, I don't know if that mark right there was broken color or pushed color. I don't really care that much. It looks nice. I care about that. Oh, one other just little tidbit of information. There's a building on this street that has a definite red cast to it, so that's really what I'm suggesting there with that. Before I do my final glaze on Monday, after this is dry, I will do some more oil sticks. In other words, I'll introduce another whole layer of abstraction to the painting before I do that final glaze. Ah, there's a hint of red right here. That emboldens me to do some red right there. I decided just a minute ago, by the way, that these taillights weren't red enough for me. So and I don't think this red car is red enough. It looks a little too pink, so. All right, that's enough of red. Let's change brushes too. I don't want to use the same brushes for too long, or your marks tend to be too similar. All right, I haven't done any blue as a broken color, so let's just mix up a kind of a mid-tone, kind of a dirty phthalo blue. So now I would be looking for on the canvas, on the painting. I have blue on my brushes. Now, of course, that means I can push color. Whoops, we lost Facebook. Bear with me just a minute. Let's see if we can get you back. So when I put blue here, this is not broken color. That's pushed color, right? Exaggerated color. Same thing there. So if I have blue on my brushes, again, same thing here. This is pushed color, not broken color, because it's already bluish. I'm just making it bluer. So it does not qualify as a broken color. But okay, so I've got blue on my brushes. That means my eye should be scanning for what color? Yes, the answer is orange, or in this case, an orange brown. That's a nice mark right there. Kind of subtle, nice. Let's do some down here in this building. Again, trying to match the value, the lightness, darkness, that's the word for value. Value means it's a reference to how light or dark a thing is. Okay, so I'm trying to match value, but contrast color. Oh yeah, here's a nice place for some blue. Right there. Ooh, very nice. Again, here's what it's like to be an artist. You think, you hope, wonder, you wish, you think maybe that this or that stroke will look good. Like, I wonder if it'll look good if I do this or that or thus and so. And then you don't really know how it's going to look till you do it. And then after you do it, then you get a, then you judge it. It's like, oh yeah, that worked great, or it didn't work so good. Just in case you wonder what it's like to be an artist, that's what it's like. We're constantly making predictions about what this or that stroke. Right now, that is not broken color, okay? That's just, neither is this. That's just pushed or exaggerated color. So there's a lot of orange over here. Seems like there ought to be a good place for some nice mid-tone blue. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, I know. Down here at the sidewalk level, at the street level. Sure. I've got a whole bunch of orange down here, just begging for some blue in it. There we go. And of course, this doesn't even need any explanation because it's a street full of buildings, so the blue could be anything, right? A street, a sign in the window, and anything. So it doesn't even need an excuse. It just is blue. Now this up here, this needs an excuse or an explanation. Why is there blue up there? The answer is, I don't know, because I thought it would look good. It looks so-so. Likewise, that stroke right there looks just so-so. So I'm going to spread it out a little bit. I know. Now this is not broken color. It just dawned on me that that building right there was entirely too dark, as is this one. So lighten both of those. Did I start out with purple? I don't remember. I haven't done any yellow. Okay, I'll do a little bit of yellow. It's close to what I've been doing, but not exactly. Okay, I have this funny little thing that it turns out I don't like bright, cool yellow. Some of you are saying, cool yellow. Yes, cool yellow. Like tending toward green, chartreuse-ish. And therefore, I try to force myself to put a little bit of cool yellow in every painting. Even if it's a very little bit, like that right there was. Yeah, very little bit. Yellow brave is not my, it's funny, yellow means cowardly, doesn't it? So brave with yellow is definitely not my thing. I am not brave with yellow. Not this yellow. I love warm yellow. I've got that everywhere, as you can see. But this cold yellow, not so much. Some people can use it successfully. More people use it and they think they're being successful than really are. Woo! You did not hear me say that. There are a lot of little things here and there that need to, let's do one. Let's take care of a street light one here real quick. So here are some street lights, and clearly this car is going, zooming right through the intersection. Oh, it just dawned on me. Oh my goodness. I just realized this is a one-way street going this way. And I've got a car going that way. Oh my goodness. Scott, it's a commission painting. That's a little embarrassing. Probably nobody will notice, and it doesn't really matter, except that unless you know our city, unless you know, anyway, I'm not going to change it. It's just I'll put it down as a funny painting blooper that people can look for. Okay, so that's, it shouldn't be a one-way street. How about that? I'm a conscientious objector against this street being one way. Hello, David Cochran. My friend, I need your help. I need to do a bunch of taxes. All right, now that I've got this real pale green on my brushes though, let's look for a few excuses to do it elsewhere. This building, the Memorial Auditorium at the end of the street here, has one of those, verdigris copper green roofs, like a lot of institutional buildings do. So. That green stroke right there is going to be superseded by a white stroke on top of it, but I think there will be green underneath it. Yeah, because this color right here, by the way, this bright spring green, chartreuse yellow green, is the most aggressive color in the world. So wherever I put this, it's going to scream out loud. So I need to be a little bit cautious. And that's one of the reasons, again, why I like doing the broken color layer before I do the final glaze, because the final glaze I can use to unify. I thought that would look good, and it doesn't so much. Don't panic. I'm not going to rub it all off. I'm just going to move it around to make it less. Yeah, now it's all right. In fact, now I can use another. There we go. Ooh, I know. Let's do some yellow right here. So the final glaze can be used to mollify, be a good word, and unify the palette a little bit. So the final glaze I'll do next time I paint. If I paint tomorrow, I'll do it. If I don't paint tomorrow on Easter Sunday, which it's a busy day, so I probably won't, but then it means I'll do this. I will do that final glaze almost certainly on Monday. All right, let's get rid of that electric color. Let's see if there's any other broken color I can just see right off the bat. So after the final glaze on Monday, presumably, I'll do any dark details that I deem necessary, and then light highlights. Every once in a while, it won't be the case on this painting, but every once in a while, my final glaze will consist of simply glazing and then lifting off with a rag, and I'm done. That doesn't usually happen. Every once in a great while it happens. But that won't be the case here because I've left a number of things like the lamppost, just a number of little things that are are not adequately finished. But for me, it was more important tonight, this evening, to get the broken color done so that the painting could be drying. Rebuilding this guy completely. Hang on, I didn't want to do that, but one thing led to another. Oh, he looks like a cartoon again with a big head, so. All right, I think it's time for me to quit. What do you think? It's been a long day of painting. Sorry I couldn't broadcast more than I did, but that's right. Thank you for your company, your attention, your comments, your chats. Let's see if there's anything I need to see before I leave. Yeah. Oh, you lost sound again? Oh, you did indeed. Sorry, Facebook. Let me see if I can talk to you. That's crazy. Sorry about the lost sound. All right, I'm going to bid goodbye to you Facebook people anyway. So there you go. Things are running along swimmingly, and all of a sudden, the sound just disappears. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to you YouTube people too. Thank you. A very blessed Easter to you, those of you who, in America who are not in Australia, who haven't started Easter yet. And even if you're not a Christian, have a great, great time while other people celebrate Resurrection Sunday. I mean that absolutely sincerely. Okay, peace to you. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.